Hey guys, this is Coach Science here with Atomic Athlete. I want to talk a little bit some sandbag get-up tips, okay? This is one of those exercises when a new athlete comes in the gym, they get absolutely crushed by this exercise, okay? It's a very humbling experience, especially if you're doing a high volume or a long duration effort, like 10 minutes max reps, something like that. Doesn't matter the type of athlete, if they're unfamiliar with the tool, it seems to crush them, okay? So what we want to talk about in this video is not so much how to do a sandbag get-up, but some pointers on how to do them more efficiently, okay? So by now, I imagine you guys have already done a sandbag get-up if you're watching this video, because you probably experienced that very challenging session of whatever it may be, 10 minutes max reps. So we want to talk about some key critical points that'll make this exercise much more doable for you, okay? The first one I want to talk about is the bag position in relation to your body, okay? If you look from the side, you'll notice the majority of the bag is on the front side of my body. And what that allows me to do is that when I'm in that bottom position right here, when I go to sit up, having more of the bag on the front of the body, like right here on my torso, makes this sitting motion much more easier. So here, just a little pop, and I can get up onto my elbow. If the bag is in a different position where most of the weight is behind me, now it's much more challenging. It was actually way harder than I thought it was going to be. It's much more challenging to get the bag up and into that seated position. So the difference of a position from here to here is very, very dramatic, okay? So if you hear your coach yelling at you saying, shift more of that bag to the front side of your body, what you need to do is simply pop the bag up and pull it forward. I would say 2/3 to 3/4 of the bag's weight needs to be on the front side of your body to efficiently get up and off the ground. So the second cue I want to talk about that's going to help you is the idea of getting on the ground with as little energy as possible, okay? You just want to fall on the ground. And what I like to do is something that I kind of learned in the military. They call it like a PLF. I'm not going to talk about what it stands for, but the idea is that you're just using certain parts of your body to kind of break your fall. And I like to think about when I come down, I'm kind of doing a spin or a corkscrew, okay? So I'll simply step forward with the same side that I have the bag on, my knee lightly touches, and I just kind of fall down onto my back. Okay, what that allows you to do is that it takes away any of the work. So it's almost like an effortless fall to the ground, but it's also controlled. It also protects your knees from going in this position right here where you see a lot of athletes drop to their knee. Not only do they have their body weight falling on that knee, but they also have the weight of the bag. And now they're also ceasing their momentum. Then they have to go into this position here and fall down. So the goal would be to get to the ground as quickly, using as little energy as possible, and that looks like this right here. Simply step, I'll turn, and collapse down to this position right here. And I wind up with this leg being up in the air, ready to use its momentum to sit back up, which is very easy because we've already talked about how the majority of the weight of the sandbag is on the front side of my body. So what we see a lot of times with athletes is when they lie down and they start to stand up, they get in this position right here where the bag is pulling their shoulders forward and they lean forward like so. And now their low back is taking a lot of this load right here, okay? Just like anytime we load the spine, we want to keep a good upright, neutral spine position, and keep that load up top. So the way to get up in a more efficient manner is as I sit up, I go to my elbow, and the key is right here. I pull my hand close to my butt cheek right here, close to the hips. What this allows me to do is bridge with my hips and step through, like so. So this keeps my back in a strong position here versus simply coming forward, taking all that load on my lower back, okay? So from that bottom position, we simply kick, roll, get onto the elbow, the hand position slides to here. I'm actually gonna push my hips through, and then step and stand. So if I was to put these tips all into one sequence right here in a full movement, all right, the first thing I'd want to focus on, the majority of the bag on the front side of the body. Number 2, get to the ground with as little effort as possible, okay, using that corkscrew method, all right? Sit up, and then that third cue is pulling that hand in to right here, and I'm simply pushing my hips through and stepping around. So those 3 things right there are going to tremendously help you, especially if you practice them independently of one another, when you go to do these high volume and high rep scheme efforts using the sandbag.